originating force of the soul life. Through this possession and this type of energy, the soul can be en rapport with all souls. Through the emotional body, the soul can be in touch with all animal or subhuman souls, through its work on its own plane, with the meditating souls of all men. And through the principle of buddhi, with the second aspect of the monad. Third aspect, knowledge. This aspect is brought into touch with the intelligence of all cells in the threefold body mechanism. By a close study of the above, it becomes apparent in what way the soul acts as the mediator between the monad and the personality. The personality hides within itself, as a casket hides the jewel, that point of soul light which we call the light in the head. This is found within the brain, and is only discovered and later used when the highest aspect of the personality, the mind, is developed and functioning. Then the union with the soul is made, and the soul functions through the lower personal nature. The soul hides within itself, as the jewel in the lotus, that faculty of dynamic energy which is the manifested attribute of the monad, the will. When the soul has unfolded all its powers and has learned to include within its consciousness all that is connoted by the myriad forms that being takes, then in turn a higher or more inclusive state becomes possible and soul life is superseded by monadic life. This involves an ability to know, to love, and to participate in the plans of a life which has the power to include within its radius of consciousness not only the sum total of the lives and consciousness of the life of the logos of our planet, but all the lives and consciousnesses within our solar system. The nature of this awareness is only possible of comprehension by the man who has arrived at soul knowledge. The great need at this time is for experts in the life of the soul and for a group of men and women who, undertaking the great experiment and transition, add their testimony to the truth of the statements of the mystics and occultists of the ages. See the body, the phenomenal appearance. Not much need be written here and this, for the body nature and the form aspect have been the object of investigation and the subject of thought and discussion of thinking men for many centuries. Much at 22 which they have arrived is basically correct. The modern investigator will admit the law of analogy as the basis of his premises and recognize sometimes the Hermetic theory that, as above, so below, may throw much light on the present problems. The following postulates may serve to clarify. 1. Man, in his body nature, is a sum total, a unity. 2. This sum total is subdivided into many parts and organisms. 3. Yet these many subdivisions function in a unified manner, and the body is a correlated whole. 4. Each of its parts differs in form and in function, but all are interdependent. 5. Each part and each organism is, in its turn, composed of molecules, cells, and atoms, and these are held together in the form of the organism by the life of the sum total. 6. The sum total called man is roughly divided into 5 parts, some of greater importance than others, but all completing that living organism we call a human being. A. The head. B. The upper torso, or that part which lies above the diaphragm. C. The lower torso, or that part lying below the diaphragm. D. The arms. E. The legs. 7. These organisms serve varied purposes, and upon their due functioning and proper adjustment the comfort of the whole depends. 8. Each of these has its own life, which is the sum total of the life of its atomic structure, and is also animated by the unified life of the whole, directed from the head by the intelligent will or energy of the spiritual man. 9. The important part of the body is that triple division, the head, upper and lower torso. A man can function and live without his arms and legs. 10. Each of these 3 parts is also triple from the physical side, making the analogy to the 3 parts of man's nature and the 9 of perfected monadic life. There are other organs, but those enumerated are those which have an esoteric significance of greater value than the other parts. A. Within the head are 1. The 5 ventricles of the brain, or what we might call the brain as a unified organism. 2. The 3 glands, carotid, pineal and pituitary. 3. The 2 eyes. B. Within the upper body are 1. The throat. 2. The lungs. 3. The heart. 23c. Within the lower body are 1. The spleen. 2. The stomach. 3. The sex organs. 11. The sum total of the body is also triple. A. The skin and bony structure. B. The vascular or blood system. C. The threefold nervous system. 12. Each of these triplicities corresponds to the 3 parts of man's nature. A. Physical nature. The skin and bony structure are the analogy to the dense and etheric body of man. B. Soul nature. The blood vessels and circulatory system are the analogy to that all-pervading soul which penetrates to all parts of the solar system, as the blood goes to all parts of the body. C. Spirit nature. The nervous system, as it energizes and acts throughout the physical man, is the correspondence to the energy of spirit. 13. In the head we have the analogy to the spirit aspect, the directing will, the monad, the one. A. The brain with its 5 ventricles is the analogy to the physical form which the spirit animates in connection with man, that 5-fold sum total which is the medium through which the spirit on the physical plane has to express itself. B. The 3 glands in the head are closely related to the soul or psychic nature, higher and lower. C. The 2 eyes are the physical plane correspondences to the monad, who is will and love wisdom, or Atma Buddhi, according to the occult terminology. 14. In the upper body we have an analogy to the triple soul nature. A. The throat, corresponding to the 3rd creative aspect or the body nature, the active intelligence of the soul. B. The heart, the love wisdom of the soul, the Buddhi or Christ principle. C. The lungs, the analogy for the breath of life, is the correspondence of spirit. 15. In the lower torso again we have this triple system carried out. A. The sex organs, the creative aspect, the fashioner of the body. B. The stomach, as the physical manifestation of the solar plexus, is the analogy to the soul nature. C. The spleen, the receiver of energy and therefore the physical plane expression of the center which receives this energy, is the analogy to the energizing spirit. The vital body is the expression of the soul energy and has the following function. 1. It unifies and links into one whole the sum total of all forms. 2. It gives to every form its particular quality, and this is due to 24a. The type of matter drawn into that particular part of the web of life. B. The position in the body of the planetary logos, for instance, of any specific form. C. The particular kingdom in nature, which is being vitalized. 3. It is the principle of integration and the cohesive force of manifestation, from the strictly physical sense. 4. This web of life is the subjective analogy to the nervous system, and beginners in the esoteric sciences can, if they remember this, picture to themselves a network of nerves and plexus running throughout the entire body, or the sum total of all forms, coordinating and linking, and producing an essential unity. 5. Within that unity is diversity. Just as the varied organs of the human body are interrelated by the ramification of the nervous system, so within the body of the planetary logos are the various kingdoms in nature and the multiplicity of forms. Back of the objective universe is the subtler sensitive body and organism, not many, one sentient, responsive, connected form. 6. This sensitive form is not only that which responds to the environment but is the transmitter, from inner sources, of certain types of energy, and the object of the treatise might here be stated to be that of considering the various types of energy transmitted to the form in the human kingdom, the responsiveness of the form to the types of force, the effects of that force upon man, and his gradual responsiveness to force emanating a. from his environment, plus his own outer physical body, b. from the emotional plane, or astral force, c. the mental plane or thought currents, d. egoic force, a force only registered by man and of which the fourth kingdom in nature is the custodian and which has mysterious and peculiar effects, e. the type of energy, which produces the concretion of ideas on the physical plane, f. strictly spiritual energy, or force from the plane of the monad. The different types of force can all be registered in the human kingdom. Some of them can be registered in the subhuman kingdoms, and the apparatus of the vital body in man is so constructed that through its three objective manifestations, the triple nervous system, through the 7 major plexi, the lesser nerve ganglia, and the many thousands of nerves, the entire objective man can be responsive to a. the above-mentioned types of force, b. energies generated in, and emanating from any part of the planetary etheric web of life, c. the solar web of life, d. the constellations of the zodiac which appear to have a real effect upon our planet, and of which astrology is as yet the immature study, e. certain cosmic forces which, it will be recognized later, play upon and produce changes in our solar system and consequently upon our planet and upon all forms upon and within that planetary life. This has been touched upon in the treatise on cosmic fire. To all of these the planetary web of life is responsive, and, when astrologers work in the occult way, and consider the planetary horoscope, they will arrive more quickly at an understanding of the zodiacal and cosmic influences. 25. The anima mundi is that which lies back of the web of life. The latter is but the physical symbol of that universal soul. It is the outer and visible sign of the inner reality, the concretion of the sensitive responsive entity which links spirit and matter together. This entity we call the universal soul, the middle principle from the standpoint of the planetary life. When we narrow the concept down to the human family, and consider the individual man, we call it the mediating principle, for the soul of mankind is not only an entity linking spirit and matter, and mediating between monad and personality, but the soul of humanity has a unique function to perform in mediating between the higher 3 kingdoms in nature and the lower 3. The higher 3 are 1. The spiritual hierarchy of our planet, nature spirits or angels and human spirits, who stand at a peculiar point on the ladder of evolution. Of these Sanat Kumara, embodying a principle of the planetary logos is the highest, and an initiate of the first degree is the lowest, with corresponding entities in what we call the angel or deva kingdom. 2. The hierarchy of rays, certain groupings of the 7 rays in relation to our planet. 3. A hierarchy of lives, gathered by an evolutionary process out of our planetary evolution, and